Right, if it don't work this time, I'm giving up. I just recorded this video, and my screen recorder just recorded the Audacity screen. I'm sweating my tits off in this room recording this. Half an hour it's talking for, and the video's not there. It's just recorded one screen, not the tier list screen. I'm very pissed off, but this is the YouTube world. We go again. Right, this is a Money in the Bank tier list. Also, sorry if I'm not as hyped up. It's really pissed me off, It's really pissed me off. If you're using Microsoft Game Bar, in the settings, make sure you change it to all screens, not just game screen. Just a tip, because you're going to be pissed off like me then. But anyway, bloody adverts on the side. Who the fuck wants a dress? Why did they come up? I know it's cookies and that, but I've been looking at women's dresses. What the fuck? But anyway, we got the first one is Mr. Kennedy, which is quite a weird one because he won and then lost it to Edge. Didn't he, like a week later? I think he was injured. So if he was injured, then I felt quite bad putting him in the bottom tier, but he should be in the bottom tier because he failed to cash in. He failed to do anything, didn't he? He just lost it in a match. And, if he was injured, fair enough. But in terms of having the Money in the Bank briefcase and not cashing in, he should be in D. Next we've got Edge, who I think cashed in on The Undertaker. Yeah, I think he definitely did cash in on The Undertaker. He was very good on it. He beat Kennedy for the belt. Everyone knew he was going to beat Kennedy. But anyway, it was very good. I think, it's good to cash in on The Undertaker, someone that big. I think the crowd enjoyed it, crowd popped for it, But in my opinion, I'm going to put him in A. Because this was around the era that I was actually watching WWE, when I was a kid. I think I was about 10 years old or 9 years old, maybe even younger than that when this happened. So it's a vague memory, but I do remember it very well. Because I was like, why are they giving it to Kennedy and then made him lose it? Made him lose in a match. That's stupid. But anyway, he's in A. I think the other guys agree he's in A. They're not here. I'm doing this on my own again, obviously. One of them did say they'd be here next week. Hopefully both of them are. And the person that records the podcast, Sonny, said that he's fixed the audio. So there probably won't be any white noise on the next podcast, whenever that is. But anyway, next is RVD. This one was brilliant. This one was absolutely fantastic on ECW. Against John Cena, won it with John Cena is the biggest babyface of all time, and he was a heel in this building. He was a fucking heel. They booed him out the building when he chucked his t-shirt in. They threw it back, and they threw it back again. When the ref got knocked out, Paul Heyman came out and done counted the pin. The crowd went mental. In that classic ECW building. Oh, amazing. This is definitely S. Definitely S for me. 100% S, whatever S means, it means supreme, super, sick if you're a kid, down with the kids. But yeah, this is absolutely brilliant, this one. I love this one. I loved ECW back in the day. It's a shame it's gone. The rebrand wasn't the best, was it? It wasn't the best. But, I think ECW was great, wish it stuck around for a bit longer. But yeah, in terms of that, winning the briefcase, cashing against John Cena and ECW, oh, amazing. S. Now, the next one, we have the first CM Punk cash-in. I might do these both together because, they're one after the other. One was against Edge. The first one was against Edge. And the second one was against Jeff Hardy. I think the Jeff Hardy one was better, because it was kind of a proper match, wasn't it? I think he GTS'd CM Punk. I think he GTS'd Jeff Hardy, and then, I think he kicked out with the first GTS, and they give another one. And he beat him there. Yeah, and I can't really remember the Edge one, which I should because I was watching at that time, when I was a kid. I only really remember the Jeff Hardy one, but I do remember him winning it, and it was great. It was a great win for him. That was when he was massively over. Then he had a Nexus stuff, and he was, a massive heel. He was great. It's just a shame it all went downhill for him, didn't it? Ugh, it's one of them things, isn't it? Everyone would love him to come back. I don't think it'll ever happen. Oh, CM Punk's a hacker. Nah, I don't think he is. you know, he's on backstage, but that's not really a WWE thing. That's with Fox, so it don't really count. Yeah, I don't think I ever see him coming back. To be honest, I don't think he likes WWE Company, to be honest. But anyway, in terms of these, I'm going to put him in A as well because I think they were great. The one with Jeff Hardy was my favourite, but it's great. Next we have The Miz, which the pop for this was massive, wasn't it? The pop for this was huge. They loved this. It's a shame that The Miz hasn't really, done much. Well, yeah, he has. He's won loads, hasn't he? He's, kind of been more on the tag team scene and that recently. But yeah, it was against Orton, wasn't it? It was against Orton. Yeah, it was great. The thing I remember the most is the crowd pop. The crowd pop was huge. Absolutely huge for The Miz. I don't think I've ever heard a crowd that loud for The Miz. So I'm going to put that in A as well. Probably near the top of A. Yeah, I'm going to put top of A. There's not really much else to say. Cash in on Orton, the crowd loved it. What more do you want? I don't really remember the match. I don't really remember the match for that year. Anyway, it's A. Just for the cash in alone, really. Next we have Kane. Is the fastest cash in ever, I think. Still, is it still? It was like an hour, wasn't it? After he won it, he cashed in on Mysterio. A helpless, defenseless little Rey Mysterio. Yeah, it was. It was great. Kane is great. Future Hall of Fame for me, definitely. He was great for years. 10+ years. He was great. It's still weird to me that he's a mayor. But anyway, yeah, in terms of winning the briefcase and the cash in, like a lot of these, I can't remember the match. I only remember the cash in. But anyway, yeah, he cashed in on Mysterio, and I'm going to put in B. Yeah, I am very generous with these tier lists. I was thinking of A, to be honest, but I'm going to put him in B. Put him in B. His fastest cash in ever, I think, still. That's got to hold something. Right. Little disclaimer, I love Jack Swagger. Going into the next one, I love Jack Swagger. I love Jake Hager. I loved the All-American. I loved him as US champion. I loved him as ECW champion. I think he was ECW champion. The We the People stuff. Everything with Zeb Coulter. I loved Jack Swagger. I don't care if you didn't. I loved him. And I love him now as Jake Hager. The big guy that doesn't talk. He's just great in AEW, great in WWE. But he cashed in on Jericho, didn't he? Cashed in on Jericho, where Jericho was injured. Well, it was the classic WWE thing on it of let's put tape around his torso. He's injured. But yeah, he cashed in on Jericho, and I loved it. The crowd would have gone over with Jack Swagger, but I was. I'm not gonna put my Jack Swagger goggles on anymore because I could just put him in S because I love him, but I'm gonna put him in A as well. I don't think the other guys would agree. I don't think any of the audience will agree. When I say audience, it's about 5 people probably. They'll, watch the first 5 seconds and click off. But if you do get to this part, let me know if you like Jack Swagger as well, because we can bond. Next is Daniel Bryan, and this was on the Big Show, wasn't it? This was on the Big Show. I think this was just before the Yes era, or the Yes movement. But yeah, it's still a big moment for Daniel Bryan. I think it kick-started his massive WWE career. Because when he first came, he got fired, didn't he, for strangling someone. Not his fault, my fault. Well, kind of is, but Daniel Bryan's the GOAT. He'll always be the GOAT. He's so good at everything, I think a lot of new WWE fans, that started watching this year, don't really know what Daniel Bryan is and how good he is. But just look at his past. He's just so good. Look at his Money in the Bank stuff. That was so good. I don't think it's S. Is it A? Because it's very vague, this one, because I think this was like 2011, and I think it was 2010 onwards I stopped watching for a bit, and I can't really remember this. So I'm gonna put it top of B. I've just said all that nice stuff about him. I put him in B. Maybe it should be A, but now it's B. It's B. Next we have Alberto Del Rio. Oh, I don't like this guy. No, is he still in prison? Is he in prison for something? I swear he's in prison. You know, if you're a hardcore wrestling fan and you look at like wrestling news websites and all that, like 3 times a year Alberto Del Rio's in trouble with the police or in prison for doing something. You know, no reflection on his Money in the Bank stuff. You know, I'm just saying. But yeah, he was okay. He won the 2011 Rumble. I don't think he should have. That should have been 17 number. I don't want to be so good. You know, the stuff with Ricardo Rodriguez as his mouthpiece, but I didn't really like this, to be honest. You know, I'm going to put him as D as well. I know he did successfully cash in, so that could be a C, but I'm going to put him in D because he's just awful. I wouldn't really want that fuss with him. You know, he had that stuff in his latter career, you know, League of Nations. You know, League of Nations, let's put a load of foreign people in a group because, you know, they're foreign. He had that stuff with Zeb Coulter on it, Next America, whatever the fucking hell it was. You know, it's a D for me because he's just not the best, is he? He's just not good. Next, we have someone who's very good. He is, you know, probably the GOAT for me anyway, in terms of my era. Don't say, oh, Ric Flair. Well, Ric Flair's around in my era as well, but, you know, don't say, like, oh, Hulk Hogan, because, like, you know, I was born in 97, lads. Born in 97. John Cena is my GOAT. John Cena's my GOAT. But in terms of this Money in the Bank, it's a D. He failed to cash in, didn't he? I don't remember it being the best match either. He sort of, the briefcase was swinging, and John Cena was hitting it with the Big Show, wasn't he? I think he was hitting it with the Big Show. It just come off with his hands, didn't it? It just come off with his hands. I'm not sure if this was the era where they were booing him. They might have been booing him. I'm not sure, but, you know, in terms of his whole career outside that, he's the GOAT. He's definitely the GOAT. But in terms of this, he's D. Put him top of D. Can't put the real top of D. But yeah, he's D for me. Big John, Little John. Well, Big John, he's massive. But yeah, John Cena's D. If he did cash in successfully, it probably would have been a bit higher. But in terms of the match and that, it was just not good, was it? One his career highlight. Maybe I think they just probably give it to him because he's, you know, something else to add to his resume. Money in the Bank win. Next is Dolph Ziggler, and if you go, you know, by majority of the rest of his career, you know, it's kind of on and off, isn't it? But this was fantastic. You know, on this list, I think this is probably the biggest crowd pop. Definitely the biggest crowd pop. It's probably the loudest crowd pop Dolph Ziggler's going to ever get. You know, he's brilliant. He cashed in on Del Rio, didn't he, with Biggie Langston and I can't remember her name now. The woman that goes out with CM Punk. I can't remember her name. AJ Lee won it. It was that stable. You know. Oh, it was great. Oh, it's fantastic. You know, I've watched his cash in loads because I just love the crowd pop. I love it when a crowd just pops massively. You know, just the noise for his cash in and that. So it's definitely S for me. It's S. You know, it's, you know, Dolph Ziggler's not, you know, at the moment he's just sort of, you know, a heel, you know, that does a super kick now and then and comes out with a rumble. You know, the stuff with Sonya Deville and that is quite good. You know, I think he's quite good heel, but, you know, his career highlight was definitely that Money in the Bank, and I think it was very good. Next you have Randy Orton. And, you know, I think Randy Orton, in terms of my era, I'm just going to disclaim that, is one of the best heels, you know, sort of ever. I know a lot of people say, oh, he's boring, he's only an Argyle, but, you know, he's more than that, mate. He's great. He's been great for, you know, since he come into WWE. He's been absolutely fantastic. But the Money in the Bank cash in. He cashed in on Daniel Bryan, and I think he cashed in on Daniel Bryan. It's where Triple H pedigreed him, didn't want he, you know, help his buddy Orton. And then, because Orton was like teasing to cash in when he come out, and Daniel Bryan was like looking at Orton, Triple H was behind him on it. And because Orton come down to the ring and went back, didn't he? And then that's what Triple H pedigreed him. Then went back and pinned him. Excuse me. In terms of the match, it's very vague again. But I do remember the cash in. I'm going to put it B. Sorry, Orton, if you do watch this. and you think you should be higher, I'm sorry. Maybe the other, if it wasn't just me on my own, the other guys would probably make me push him up higher. But for me, it's B. No, it's not A. It's not A. There's a little thought in my head of thinking A, but in terms of the other people in this B, I think the other people in this B are probably better than him in terms of the cash in and that. So it's a B. And next we have Damien Sandow. He failed to cash in, didn't he? He failed to cash in. This was probably, because he come in and then he went to Damien Mizdow, didn't he? Copying the Miz and that. I quite like Damien Sandow. I think he's quite good. I think he could have gone far, but it was one of them things where they pushed him to this. The crowd didn't really get behind it, so I thought, we'll fail the cash in. And then he had that stuff in the Andre Giant Memorial Battle Royal, anyway, to betrayed the Miz. It was in the final two. He should have won that. He should have won that because the crowd was so behind him. They were so behind him. He should have won that. But in terms of the Money in the Bank stuff, it's got to be D in it. It's got to be D. It's a failed cash in. It's a failed cash in. So it's D. Sorry, Damien. Sorry, Damien. I quite liked you as a wrestler. But in terms of this, you were shit, mate. You were shit, mate. Next, we have Seth Rollins. This was the one with Roman Reigns and Brock on it. Roman Reigns and Brock, what he cashed it in. It was at WrestleMania, one at the open air WrestleMania. Massive ramp. Where he was at the top of the ramp swinging the belt round when he won. Oh, this was a great cash in. This is the definition of a perfect cash in for me. Music hit. We had a great match. Great match after he went to cash in. Curb stomp Brock. Pinned him. Oh, the final shot of him swinging the belt round at the top. Prime Seth Rollins. This is top level Seth Rollins. Don't get me wrong. I love the heel stuff. Absolutely love the heel stuff. He's doing it at the moment with carrying the Rey Mysterio mask around it. It's just, that's great, isn't it? That's great. But this cash in is S. This cash in is an S tier cash in. Everything around it is great. It's not just based off a crowd pop. This is just everything that Seth did here was absolutely brilliant. So it's S. Next we have Sheamus. He bro kicked Roman Reigns, didn't he? He bro kicked Roman Reigns when Roman Reigns was having a celebration for winning the belt, I think. What I did really like about this one is it was out of nowhere. There was no music, no Sheamus music didn't hit. He just come out of nowhere and bro kicked him. That's what I loved about this one. Yeah, but I really like Sheamus. Oh, off the tangent. The stuff on SmackDown with Sheamus has been brilliant. When he said, "You dirty bastard," ignore my. Sorry, it has a bit racist Irish accent, but it killed me. It killed me when he said that. If one of the 5-10 people watch this and have a clip of that, please send it to us or me, just me. Because I love that. But anyway, back to the cash in. It was great. Was this the match with Lord Tensai and Sin Cara, where Sin Cara got put through the ladder by Tensai, or got put through the ladder by Sheamus? I think it was this one. If I'm wrong, have a go at me. Go on. But I'm gonna put it in A, B, top of B. It should, in terms of the way he done it, where he just come out and Owen bro kicked him, and that started it off. That's what I really love. So that could be A. But I'm going to put it in B. Next we have Ambrose, Dean Ambrose. I must admit, guys, I can't really remember this. It was on Seth Rollins, wasn't it? He cashed in on Seth Rollins. So Seth Rollins, I think he just won the belt, and then Ambrose came out and Owen cashed in on him. It was very good. I think it was great, the whole Shield stuff and all that. I'm not sure about this one either. I'm kind of being a bit, because I didn't watch in that time. I've seen the cash in and all that and the matches, but they got on my mind. Got other things on my mind. How are we going to get to 15 subs? That's on my mind every day. Not joking. But anyway, is it as good as the stuff in A? Or is it top B? Oh, God. I'm really not sure. Do you know what? Where's my mouse? I'm going to put it bottom of A. If I'm wrong, and you think it is in S or even D, let me know. But I'm going to put it in A because I remember the match for cashing in was great. You know, a depleted Seth Rollins cashing in on him, that was great. Next we have Baron Corbin, who is another failed cash in. It was that time, wasn't it? I think it was the same year where he won the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. I think. Don't get if I'm wrong. You know, sorry about that, but it's where he came up from NXT and then just, you know, won that and then won the briefcase. It was sort of that era where he won the US title as well, wasn't it? And it was like, ooh, he's going to be massive. Vince really likes him. He's going to be massive, but he's, you know, he's just like, I know his character is a bit annoying, but he's quite annoying. You know, and Vince still thinks Baron Corbin's a massive draw. He's just not. He's a great heel. He's a great heel, and I really like Baron Corbin. Baron Corbin was actually my pick to win this year's Money in the Bank. But he never. He never. He did kill 2 people. You know, well, it looked like anyway. There was a second roof. Oh, God. But anyway, in terms of this, it's D, because he just failed. It's a D for me, sorry. Sorry, Corbin. I do quite like you. You know, it's quite weird seeing this picture with Corbin's hair. You know, all I've known is bald Corbin. Next we have the first female cash-in, which is Carmella. She cashed in on Charlotte? She cashed in on Charlotte. It was where she won the briefcase with help from Ellsworth, I think. And then they had another match for the briefcase on SmackDown, I think, and she won that again. Yeah, I think that was it. I was just coming back into it at this stage. She kind of got downhill after that. She had the stuff with R-Truth, which is very entertaining. Don't get me wrong, it's very entertaining, but she was in this year's and just got put out. You know, she got put through a table and that was the end of her. But she's done nothing since that. You know, no disrespect to Carmella, I think she's a great wrestler, but she does a good moonwalk. You know, but all season that was a fucking moonwalk. You know, do something else. I'm gonna put it in C. Sorry, it's the first C. Might be the last, but I'm gonna put it in C. I think the cash-in on Charlotte on a SmackDown episode, I do remember it because I remember watching it, but it was okay. It was okay, I guess. Do I want to put it in B? No, I'm going to put it in C. I'm going to leave it there. It's going to stick to my guns. If you know, one massive Carmella fan does watch this, they're probably going to come for me and beat me up, but you know, that's life. Just deal with Carmella being in C. Next we have Braun Strowman, which is this was awful. It's another one of them Braun Strowman pushes that they just pull the plug on at the last second. I know they're not doing it now because he's held the belt, but he only got the belt because Roman Reigns is off telly. I do think if there was crowds there, he would have lost the belt by now. You know, I love Braun, don't get me wrong, I love Braun, but I think his whole thing is just going to be getting so close to a massive push, then just dragged away. You know, we've all heard the stories about him being late and stuff he's done backstage, but you know, you don't get many big men in the company anymore. You know, hardly any. Back in the day, he was loads, but he seems like the perfect Vince guy. But you know, hopefully he holds the belt for a long while until crowds come back. You know, hopefully. But yeah, this casting was awful, wasn't it? You know, he won. It was the whole in the match. Got to eliminate the big guy, so everyone ganged up on him, beat him up, and then right at the end he come back, won the briefcase. It was Brock on it that held the belt, I think. I think it was Brock, and then it was all at Saudi Arabia on it, and then Corbin cost him it, and then he just didn't cash in. It felt like it was only a few months, but he felt like he had the briefcase for ages, and it was just like, oh God, cash in, or just failed cash in already. It wasn't the best. It's a D because he failed. It was like, oh, when he won, it was like, oh, maybe they're going to give him the belt, but no, they're not going to do that. It's a D. Sorry, Braun. Next we have Alexa Bliss. Yeah, this one she cashed in on. It was Ronda Rousey and Nia Jax, wasn't it? This one might be the fastest. I'm not sure. It's very tight, very close, very close. But yeah, I really enjoyed this. I really enjoy Alexa Bliss. She's great. This cash-in was fantastic, wasn't it? Because you come down, whacked Nia Jax in the back, and then beat up Ronda Rousey for the briefcase, kept hitting him with the briefcase. That was great. You know, I love seeing that. One petty thing I have about the match, I think not Sasha Banks, it was Becky Lynch was sitting at the top of the ladder for about 10 seconds, maybe more than that. I really didn't like that. I know it's like what they're told to do and that, but you know, that makes it look stupid. But anyway, that's just a little problem I got. But yeah, I'm gonna put it in A. It's an A for me. You know, I think the moment was very good, where she just beat them both up. You know, little old Alexa beat them both up. You know, winning the belt. It was great. Next we have Bayley, which is last year's. She cashed in on Charlotte. When it was Charlotte, she was face Bayley at the time, when it hug her and all that. Crowd got massively behind her. You know, I'm quite glad she won the briefcase of that year, last year even. You know, and another thing, I really like heel Bayley. I'm so glad she's had a character change. You know, I'm so glad she's had a character change. I know, you know, there's a few people are like, oh, I don't really like this heel Bayley character, but she's great on the mic. She's great at being an arsehole. Excuse me. You know, she's great on the mic, great at being an arsehole. She's been fantastic as a heel. She's been absolutely brilliant as a heel. She's one of them people that has a great character switch. You know, she'd be brilliant as a face, brilliant as a heel. But yeah, in terms of the Money in the Bank stuff, I'm going to put in A as well, I think. You know, massive pot for the cash in. You know, to cash in on Charlotte for her as well. That's massive. That's great. Next we have Brock. Right. This one is quite a controversial one, because I loved this. You know, to come out, you know. At the time, when his music hit, I was like, oh, for fuck's sake, not Brock again. Me and Sonny watched this, and we're like, oh, no, not Brock. Then I realised this is great. This is such a Brock Lesnar thing. And then after that, we had Boombox Brock. Oh. If that merch is still out, or you can buy it somewhere, I'm going to buy it. Because I love that. That was so entertaining. You know, we've never seen a side to Brock like that. We've never seen that side of Brock. Entertaining, you know, laughy, jokey Brock. Dancing Brock. We need more dancing Brock. This is A. This is definitely top of A. Yes, Brock. No, just scroll down. Oh, I don't really want to go to a second line, but you know, we haven't done now. Love Brock. You know, Brock Lesnar's great. Brock Lesnar is absolutely great, and that Money in the Bank stuff was brilliant. Right, now we come to this year's Money in the Bank winners. At first we got Asuka. In terms of winning that, I'm so glad she did. My pick was Shayna Baszler. And it was kind of weird, because she, you know, I thought she was going to win the Royal Rumble. She didn't. She beat everyone up in Elimination Chamber. Then she lost to Becky. And she didn't even get to the top floor, did she? Didn't even get to the ring. She got punched in the face by Lacey Evans. Women's right by Lacey Evans. And then just, you know, she had a match with Natalya, I think, the week after, or a couple of weeks after. And she wasn't even in a triple threat the other day. I don't know what's happened to her. The crowd haven't been really behind her. You know, when there was crowds. But I think she's great. I think she could be, you know, future champion. But anyway, enough about Asuka one. In terms of the cash-in, it wasn't really a cash-in, was it? It was called, you know, sort of, you know, Becky just give her the belt. So she probably gets marks down for that. But in terms of Asuka recently, and in the no crowd era, she's been the best. She's been so good. She's been so damn good. She's been the best. In this WWE no crowd era, she's been the best wrestler in that company. In terms of a character, she's S. In terms of, you know, having the Money in the Bank briefcase, where she was parading around with the belt, that's S. It's an S for me. If you disagree, you know, this is probably a thing they probably will disagree on if people do see this far into the video. But yeah, it's S. It's definitely S. And the next one is probably going to be controversial as well, because it's Otis. Now, I'm so glad Otis got this belt. We haven't got the belt yet. Don't think he will. But anyway, Otis got the briefcase. We all knew he was going to do they were going to do a spot where he couldn't climb the ladder because he kept breaking because he's fat. You know, that's such a Vince thing. But for him to just AJ just fumble it and him catch it. It's brilliant. The stuff with Mandy Rose has been brilliant. But he hasn't cashed in yet. Did tease it against Braun. But I have this horrible feeling that they're just never going to do anything. Even if crowds do come back, he's just not going to cash in. I think he's going to fail to cash in. I don't see him cashing in on Braun. I really don't see that somehow. I'm not sure. I would like to really see. I don't think they'll ever do it, but I would like to see Bray Wyatt versus Otis. The character Bray Wyatt, not the Fiend, because I think that would just be so good. We can all dream, mate. We can all dream. I'd love that to happen. But anyway, back to Otis. In the Money in the Bank, he was great. Just doing his voice, eating loads of shit. Just everything he done in that match is just, he's so good. He's so good, but he hasn't cashed in yet, so that's bumped him down quite a bit for me. I don't want him to cash in with Tucker for the tag team titles. I know a lot of people want that. But I don't. It would have been quite entertaining. I know we would have had 2 women, Money in the Bank holders this year if he cashed in for Mandy. That would have just been such a sweet moment. That would have been great. But I'm going to put in B. If he does cash in successfully and all that, he probably get bumped up to A or S, even S. But because he hasn't cashed in yet, it's B. Right, there we go. That's the end of that tier list. Hopefully it's recorded properly, because I'm not doing it a third time. I can't be arsed. Hopefully the guys come back next week. It might be another tier list. We'll see. Yeah, if you disagree, let me know. You probably all disagree. Yeah. Cheers. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, because we're on 14. We've been on 14 subscribers for, God knows how long. We need that one more subscriber. 15 looks better. It's quite a nice number to have. It's not. I know it's only 15, but still, that'd be great for us. Hopefully we get back to recording with the other guys regularly soon. Not just me on my own. I know I'm a very boring person, but I can't help that. Sorry. Anyway, I'm rambling on now. Thanks for watching. Cheers.